You love singing with me.
All right, welcome back to Not Gonna Like This, episode 45, T.Benson Photos. And obviously, with the name, that means we have a guest, and none other. Our guest for this week's episode is Tyler Benson. Tyler, introduce yourself to the people, man.
What's going on? I'm Tyler Benson. I started a photo production company called T.Benson Photos. Graduated from George Mason, 2021? And yeah, man, just happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Of course, as always. Got my co-host Malcolm with me today. Vontae and PJ couldn't make it, but nonetheless, we're gonna carry on. So, my first question I got for you is, one, why are you? It's a two-part question. One, why are you a photographer, and what inspired you to become one?
Yeah. So first, why am I a photographer? So I guess freshman year. So let me back up. So I've always been kind of interested in photography. I got a camera. Like I live with my grandparents, so I used to take my grandfather's camera and just go shoot my sister's soccer game, stuff like that. So I've always had a little bit of interest in photography. Then freshman year of college, I ended up getting the iPhone 7 Plus, whatever, the big one. And it had like an OD camera on it. So I was like, let me start like shooting some videos and stuff like that. So then I started getting into that, make a little bit of vlogs here and there, nothing crazy, but started getting into that a little bit. And then I was like, well, let me just go buy my first DSLR, like the bigger camera. After I got that, then one of the girls, because I ran track here, I ran track in Mason, and one of the girls on the team, Ashley, she was like, yo, you trying to do my graduation photos? Because she saw I had like a nicer camera. I was like, all right. So she ended up paying me for it. And then pretty much the rest was history. After that, that was about 5-6 years ago now. And ever since, literally every single year, I've been growing in my clientele. I think it's going to be a question later, but we'll talk about a little bit why I started my business. And that's kind of like how it got started. So it started all with that, she kind of reached out to me and she's like, yo, trying to do my graduation photo. So kind of snowballed from there. As to what inspired me to do photography, I think ever since that first, when I first started messing around with getting my camera, I did a shoot for a couple of my boys. We just did like on the top of a parking garage. I think you actually had him on. Jay Turn, I think you had him on here one time. Yeah, the rapper. So like I was messing with him, and I just did a little photo shoot for his album or whatever. And just the reaction he had, when he saw the pictures, like, yo, these are fire, these are dope. I like that feeling, I like when people like see their stuff and they feel good about themselves. And so that's kind of like why I do the kind of photography I do, portrait photography, because I like when I deliver the photos to people, they're like, damn, bro, that's fire. Like, really appreciate you, looking out, stuff like that. So I really like making people feel good about themselves and like kind of seeing their inner beauty kind of thing. Because a lot of people, when you do the first photo shoot or whatever, they're really nervous, like, man, I don't know how to pose, none of that. And so they're really nervous about how it's going to turn out. And then usually when I deliver the photos, I'm like, man, like I never knew I could look this good, or these are fire, stuff like that. And that's what I'm really in it for. So that's probably my biggest inspiration.
That's good. That's good to hear.
That is good. Yeah.
Yeah, facts.
You should.
I get that same feeling because I get the same feeling when I interview a few people. Like, I know when I interviewed Jordan told me that was his first interview ever. Like, I was the first person to interview. He was like, man, he really liked the experience of it. He's like, yeah, I hope I get more of these. I was like, yeah, we hope you do too. I know I interviewed Shari.
Yeah.
And then I did episodes with Nick. I interviewed Kari, because Kari's on the track team for a very short stint.
Yeah, I know Kari. Yeah.
I've interviewed Kari, John. I've interviewed Kari.
You're on episode 45. You've been doing this thing, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah, man, I've been trying, working hard. I know I got Aaron. Aaron's in four episodes from this one, which is
up next. Oh, 4 episodes. I got you. Yeah, that's my boy. Like I said, like I kind of like. So Aaron's obviously my ride or die. That's my right hand man. A lot of the stuff that I do, again, we'll talk about it a little more later, but a lot of the stuff that I do, especially for George Mason, I have Aaron with me like almost on everything I can get him on. That dude's got his creativity and his vision is just crazy. That dude is legit.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Mark, I never told you. Tyler connected me to Aaron for the season 2 video way back, like last year. Yeah, so he did the season 2 video for me.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, Aaron goes
Oh,
crazy
so
with
you
the
do it, you
videos.
edit, or you do it all, huh?
Yeah, he goes crazy
And you
with the
shoot.
videos.
Nice. And you shooting
Yeah,
man. He said I shooting manual too. I feel. All
yeah,
right.
bro. It's all about
I,
manual,
I,
baby. Yeah.
yeah, I feel you. What program you use?
Yeah, so I edit. So when I do my photos, I'm mostly in Lightroom and Photoshop. And then videos, I use Premiere and After Effects.
Oh yeah,
So
you don't play. Yeah, you know.
yeah, we do the
Okay, yeah.
we do the big stuff,
It's
yes,
okay.
sir.
Not that I didn't think, but I'm like, all right, you getting that monthly subscription and everything. You trying to?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. It
I see
really
what you.
exactly. Yeah. Everything I do, I try to reinvest into the business. Exactly.
Nah, ain't nothing wrong with that.
Hopefully once I get the merchandise on a consistent basis, I'll be able to invest in those things.
Yeah, bro.
When I saw that $25, I was like,
Yeah, bro. Yeah, and that's a student one now because I have I pay for the entire suite. So it's like 50, $60 a month or something like that. But the thing is, I do
It's
enough.
worth it.
Yeah, it's worth it. And like at this, the point of my business right now, I'm making the money back. So like, I don't even, that's just a business expense. So like, I can pay for that pretty easily. So
I
it's,
bet tax time come around too, guys.
yeah, nah, taxes go crazy. Taxes go
Yeah.
crazy. I've only had my LLC. So I got an LLC for it. And I've only had my LLC for a year, just over a year. In May was my year. Yeah, bro. Like taxes go crazy.
I ain't mad
Government don't
at you.
play.
Yeah.
but that's tough. That's tough.
Yeah,
So
bro.
we go ahead and get into the business model.
Yeah, bro.
That we talked about. So and basically for the question for the viewers is explain what led to T.Benson Photos.
Yeah.
And just not working for a modeling agency, being a sports photographer, what led to that point where I said, I don't want to just fall into the cracks all the time. I want to be, I want to be Tyler. I want to be Tyler the photographer. Yeah, let's go with that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good question. So pretty much, so basically this is what happened. So for probably 3-ish years, all I was doing mainly was like graduation. So I was doing mad graduation shoots. People hit me up. I still do a lot. Just kind of graduation stuff. Then last summer, George Mason got that new basketball coach, Coach English. He had seen some of my work on Twitter, hit me up. He's like, yo, man, like I gotta get you out here to start doing some of these photo shoots for me. I was like, all right, cool, never say no to that. So he had me out. I did a lot of recruiting stuff, a lot of the recruits. So pretty much, I think I did every single recruit except for maybe one or two that past summer. So it's a year ago. So recruits would come on campus. I would have everything set up. I'd have a backdrop. I had lights. I had music going. I had my computer. Like it was legit. And it's kind of just to give those recruits an experience. So I was doing a bunch of those. And I got to the point where I'm like, well, okay, so this is giving me a lot more exposure. At that point, I was starting to get, in with a couple other companies. I was doing a lot with George Mason. I was like, all right, cool. It's time to really start buckling down. And so at that point, I went and got my LLC, made it official business. And that also just made it a little bit easier for George Mason to pay me. Just because it makes it easier as they're going through a business instead of just like a sole proprietorship, or not a sole proprietorship, that's what it is, but instead of just like me, just like some dude like they're kind of paying under the table. Exactly. They can't, for their business, they can't do that. So I went ahead and when I got my LLC, I got everything I needed to get. I got EVA, I got all this other stuff to make sure I'm legit with George Mason. And it was an independent contractor for him. So I'm actually a contractor with Mason, which is really crazy. So I went ahead and did it for that reason. And then, it just kind of spiraled from there. The whole reason why I went that route instead of, trying to go up underneath somebody else is eventually I want to make this my main thing. I want this to be what I do for a living. And I think I'm on a really good path to that right now. I'm making enough money right now that I am pretty close to being able to, if I wanted to, take it full time. And so the whole point of that is just making it sure I'm above board. That way it makes me a lot more marketable to other companies. So I've been working with another company called Purple Strategies. And basically what I'm doing with them is they are partnered with George Mason to do NIL deals. So basically what I'm doing is I'm all the digital media for it. So videos, photos, you name it, I'm doing that kind of stuff. And then the other thing that allows me to do is bring other people up underneath my company if I wanted to, right? So obviously one of the dudes that I'm targeting obviously is Aaron. I kind of want to make him my first employee type beat. And that way I can really start building an actual business. I have a couple of graphic designers that I want to get underneath my belt and stuff like that. So what we can really do is kind of create one umbrella, and everybody's up underneath there. So like if, say George Mason needs a digital media graphic designer, cool. I got somebody for you. They're underneath my company that you can go through them. I already have the contract with y'all. So you can just, have him and he gets all the money for it. It just makes it a little bit easier for him to facilitate those deals. And so it's kind of really trying to help out, a lot of the other creatives in the space, as well as making sure that I'm building a strong foundation for me to, build upon in the future.
I have for the podcast, being at this point now, I got You Not Gonna Like This. We got that running. That's there. But now I got Triple Threat, the basketball show with PJ Vaughan and Jay Haffaday, and then I got Music Central with myself, Devin, Jamil, and Peanut, a couple of my friends from school back when I graduated high school. Yeah. And that's it for now. I'm always looking to try to add more shows, but right now just trying to get those two going, that solidified where they don't need me as much to like, all right, we gotta do this. Just slowly take that step away where they get to the point where they're doing a live. All I gotta say is like, all right, hey man, y'all do this live, y'all content. Just my main goal is like, if y'all can do the content, I'll worry about the executive stuff. I'll worry about the scheduling, the timing. I'll worry about that stuff. If y'all just can give me that content out in a timely manner, I got the executive stuff. Like you said with Aaron, you got the contracts, you got all the executive, the
got the hard stuff done. Exactly.
All I do is you got to do the content. I the rest of it. Just do that content. You deliver that. I got you. And I feel like that's like the best way to do it. That's the best way to do it.
Facts, bro. Facts. Absolutely.
Well, then that leads me to the next question is, what is your end goal? Well, I kind of think you kind of answered it being that you said that you wanted to make this full time, but maybe it's not your end goal, but that leads me to it. What is the end goal?
So I think you're spot on. I think my goal right now, it's not anywhere immediate, and I think this is in your next question, so I won't touch on it yet, but probably my goal right now within the next probably 10-ish years, and I want to build this thing right. So it's going to take a little while to build it up the way I want to. But I want this thing to be, a dynasty of sorts, right? So I want to make sure I have all the people I need, all the things I need to do, all the gear, whatever I need, I'm set. I can hit the ground running. So that's kind of like, again, it's like a 10-year plan. I'm trying to have something like legit built. So that's kind of the end goal right now. And like I said, I've been really just trying to chipping away. And everybody always says this, but it's not about what you know, it's about who you know, right? Obviously I have the knowledge. I've got the skills. The thing is, I didn't even go to school for this. I went to school for cybersecurity. All this stuff that I learned, it's all me. I learned it on YouTube. I learned it like in the field. I did it all myself. And that's one of the more powerful things about this. So now the next step is that kind of entrepreneurial piece, which is what I'm really kind of studying, focusing, and learning how to do. So I can strategically put my business in the spot where I can be successful in the future. Because anybody can go out and take pictures, I can get, we can get graduation shoots here and there, but it's about how do you grow? It's how do you grow from there? So I've got photography, I've got cinematography locked. Always can grow, always can get better. But for the time being now, I'm really focusing on, okay, how do I level this business up? And that's the part that's going to take a little bit longer. And I think that's where a lot of people fail is, that piece, it takes a lot of commitment. It takes a lot of time. So if you're not constantly chipping away at it and actually like moving forward, then you're never going to get there. And I think a lot of people end up getting stuck in that grind, right? They don't see any results from it. They don't see for me to again, I'm making decent money right now. I'm not making anywhere near as much money as I want to be making in the future for photography. But when I started first, literally 3 years, right, I was making less than $1,000 a year, like significantly, like probably around $500 a year, maybe something like that for 3 to 4 years. This past year was my best year. I made, I don't even like $5,000, something like that, a little bit more than that. And that's pretty much in a 3-month time span, just graduation season. I have a couple of things here and there in January and whatnot. But it takes time. It takes a lot of, again, just effort and going out there, finding people, finding new clients, making sure you're marketing yourself on Instagram, TikTok, wherever you need to be out there. marketing yourself. Because right now, that's the other thing. That's one of the things I'm building right now is all of my business is word of mouth. Like 90% of it is word of mouth. I did a shoot for somebody. They're like, yo, that was fire. Let me hire you. That's pretty much how it goes. Some of it's on Twitter, some of it's on Instagram, but that's something I got to do better, right? I got to start building that business up a little bit better on Instagram and Twitter, start reaching a different type of clientele. And that's kind of the things that I'm working on as growing my business as a whole. So yeah, I guess that's kind of the future. That's kind of the plan is kind of just build a dynasty.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm still in that questionable part. What I want for this here, dynasty is. I don't know of dynasty, but I do want something where it's just it works for itself.
I got you for sure.
And the marketing thing, that's something I've been working on digitally. I've got better with it. You know, I try to do the hashtags. So something,
Yep.
you know, what I do is hashtags. You know,
Yep.
create your own hashtag. So mine's like, you're not gonna like this in YNGLT. That's the two hashtags. Like if you click on those hashtags, as long as I'm consistently posting under those hashtags, you can click on it right now and you'll see every video that I've ever put up on there on Instagram. And you know, the stuff at times I do be feeling stagnant where it's like, dang, I wish I was here. I feel like I should have been here already. But then if I think like that, you'd be like, you just gonna psych yourself out of it and just drop it completely.
Nice.
So you gotta keep focused, you gotta keep it line, like, all right, it's taking longer than I expected, but we still making progress. It's getting there slowly, but it's getting there. Another thing is I like TikTok, and I definitely encourage you to use TikTok because with TikTok,
yes,
when you put a video on TikTok, you can share it to Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat simultaneously. So that's something I try to do. I don't normally do it as much as I would like because my TikTok following and my Instagram following are just two different things.
Yep.
But the one thing I gotta learn how to crack is Twitter. I don't know how you crack Twitter.
Twitter's a difficult space, but once you get going in Twitter, man, like Twitter's crazy.
Yeah, Twitter's hard. Twitter. I've yet to crack it yet. You know, trying like one thing I just did recently was the NBA Finals thing. You know, I went and did live tweet the game. You know, try to see it that way. You know, I saw some tweets, saw some people got a little bit of interaction, but just stuff like that. You know, I'm always trying to do things and try to branch out. Like me and we did a business event back in February where we sat there, we got a couple followers, got a couple viewers, you know, stuff going to pops, going to things like that. You know, as I keep doing it, I feel like we're gonna be more organized. Last time all I had was the iPad and that. So I was scrolling through the stuff, but people were still liking it. They was like, "Oh yeah, this sounds good. This sounds great." I got one purchase that day too. So stuff
that's
like
perfect.
You know, but next time we come, hopefully, you know, we can lay out the merchandise. We can have the shirts, the hoodies, all those great things, and try to really keep building on what I've been building on for a while now. Hopefully, we'll get to that point where it works for itself.
Absolutely. I feel that 100%, bro. And one thing to your point, just to back up a little bit, is like when you start thinking about, oh man, like, you know, I feel like I'm not progressing, anything like that. Whenever I start thinking like that, I like to look back, right? I like to look back at where I was a year ago and be like, dang, I really actually have come so far. Like, you don't really realize the progress you've made because you're in it right there. Like, you're in it for the moment. Like, I listen to a lot of podcasts all the time, a lot of YouTubers. And that's one of the things that they say, like, even some streamers, right? They started off like, they're like, man, yeah, I was happy to get, 10 viewers on a stream, but now they're getting thousands. And they're thinking about like back then, like, man, I was so happy to have those 10, people viewing my stream. Whereas now, they're normally getting 5,000 and they get 3,000 one day. Like, man, like what's going on? Like, what's wrong with me? But it's like, really, when you look back, like, damn, I only had 10 like viewers for like 3 years, 10 viewers. And now look at how far I've come. So it's like kind of looking back and like being grateful for where you're at and just knowing like, as long as you keep putting one foot in front of the other, you're going to get there. It may take time, but you're going to get there. Yeah, that's just a little bit of, that's kind of like my mentality for a lot of the stuff that I do.
Yeah.
Because it can get rough out there, man. You be like, damn, I'm not doing anything, but trust me, you just have to look for it.
The one thing that motivates me now is like, finally, like, and it's funny, like I did it one day because I just wanted to look for something on the podcast. Just go to YouTube. I searched the name of the podcast. I had my own little Google thing with the logo in the corner.
Yeah, bro.
Podcast had a description what we have on all of our Spotify, Apple, all that great stuff. They had it all right there.
That's so tough, bro.
All right,
See, that's big.
you see the third-party websites with all your content on there. Like, all right, I ain't even put the content up there.
Facts, bro. I'm saying, bro.
Yeah.
You got third-party websites, putting your content on it, things like that. It's like, all right, we actually
out here, man. And all it takes is one video, one something to blow up, and that could change everything. So that's why you keep doing what you're doing, because something will blow up eventually. And when it does, like, you gotta be ready for it.
Gotta be. That's why I keep trying to interview new people, new topics. I try to keep branching out each and every time. Try to find some new people I haven't worked with yet. The more people that know, the better, and that works out.
I know that's right.
It's hard to do podcasts with my mouth. That'll take years.
Yeah,
Man.
nah, for sure. Yeah, by yourself. Yeah. Well, that's cool too, though, because when you do stuff like this, like, you're reaching different audiences, right? Like, I'm gonna repost this. Like, the people that you be having, they repost it. So that's new eyes on your stuff. So it's like, man, maybe somebody come out, check out your stuff, and get a couple more views here and there every time you get more people, and that's just gonna keep piling up.
They know of you, and the best thing, they know of you. So like a lot of times, every time I reach out to somebody, I always get introduced like, this is You Not Gonna Like This and all that. But some people, they like, oh yeah, you do have a podcast. I know
Yeah. Like, I've been hip. I've been watching y'all for a minute. Yeah.
The familiarity makes it easy. Like, all right, so you don't know exactly how this goes, but all right, you cool, you glad to be a part of the process.
Exactly.
It's all
brand awareness. Yeah.
Get all those things together and watch it all come to fruition. Time and time again, I'll look back at some of the old episodes I did and like, dang, I really got this person. Don't know how I did,
bro.
The biggest motivation I do have is when I first started this podcast, and I still have the video to this day on the Instagram. It sits in the highlights. I just reached out. It was all the smoke. This was a random coincidence. I was like, what advice do you have for upcoming podcasting? And Steven Jackson responded to the question.
That is crazy.
And I've had that video in the highlights forever. I had to stick on my phone too, but I had the video in the highlights. And like every once in a while, I look back on the video like, dang, Steven Jackson gave me the seal of approval. I'm
saying, bro, that's what I'm saying. It's stuff like that, bro. It's stuff like that. That's what you got to latch onto and keep growing with. That's lit, bro. That's crazy.
Those are the best feelings. Yeah, I was completely shocked. To this day, when I looked at the phone, I was like, all the smoke responded to your question. I was like, nah.
That's crazy, bro. That's tough.
Like, oh yeah. So I made sure I was screen recorded the video, saved the video. I was like, yeah.
Yeah, man, that's lit.
We can never let this video fall between the cracks. We gotta make sure this at all times. And that is something I love to have. So, maybe one day if I ever get to that all the smoke status, I can show them that video and they'll be like, oh damn, you kept it.
You came a long way.
I'm saying, bro, it just takes time, bro. You will get there. You just gotta keep grinding. That's it.
But that leads me to the final question of the day is what's next for yourself outside of photography?
Yeah, so man, I keep busy. I keep very busy. So like I said, I graduated. I've been out of school for a year now. I actually work in cybersecurity. I work remote for a company called Huntress. And that's kind of what splits my time, right? So I love what I do at work. I love cybersecurity. And that's kind of the thing that is the other passion that I have. I have three passions. I have cybersecurity, number one. Number two is photography. And number three, I love to coach. So I coach a travel soccer program as well. So those are the three things. Yeah, big soccer guy.
Oh, that's a show.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So I
didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm just listening.
No, you good, bro. Yeah, for sure. So those are like the three things that I be doing. You said what?
This man plays soccer all the time. Every time I come home, I want to play soccer.
All right, that's what's up, bro. That's what's up.
I don't have any of that. So, but
no, that's what's up. Yeah, I coach a U16 girls travel team. Right now I got a lot of, it's mostly sophomores, rising juniors. So right now we're just getting them in the mode to start getting recruited for college. So another thing.
So y'all play soccer, y'all play the strikers,
Yeah, we play
you in
strikers.
it,
Yeah.
you in it.
Oh, we in
Hey,
it. Yeah,
man,
we
I
get
ain't
down in
mad.
Richmond all the time.
Yeah,
We have tournaments down in Richmond all the time. Literally, like 3 of them were like 3 in a row type beat. Yeah, we're out there. Yeah, we're in there. So, yeah, I know y'all well. Strikers, I know y'all well.
What's up.
Yeah, bro.
That's what's up.
Oh, you coach A too, Malcolm?
No, oh no. This is way back in. This is high school stuff,
But he
man.
used to play.
Yeah. This is way. This is years ago.
Nah, I feel it, bro.
And you see, why don't you try to give yourself a little youth, please? Just a little,
Yeah, no man, yeah.
Nah, but that
High
so
school
like
feel like a yeah. Go ahead.
no, you good. No, high school was that, bro. That's like 9 years ago. Whoa, 10 years ago. I don't want to talk about that. I want to age myself. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I do got a question for you too.
Yeah,
Because
bro.
I know business is far. So, and I know people watching this might wonder too. So, what would you say the best advice you would give to people starting out with photography? Since that's your business. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, what would people want for starting off photography? Yeah, like that's a great question. So there's a lot of things that go into that question. First thing that I would say is oftentimes people look at YouTube, people go straight to YouTube and Google, what's the best beginner photography camera? And a lot of those YouTubers are going to tell you this crazy ass $6,000 camera that you can't afford and you don't need. I can say that right now, the phone in your pocket is probably better than a lot of cameras on the market. And I'm not joking. It's crazy. Like I got the 13 Pro Max sitting right here. This camera is crazy. And so what I'm telling people is if you want to get started in photography, what I want you to go out and do is just start shooting. Just shoot. Just do it. Take your phone out there, get a friend and just go shoot. Find different angles. Use the iPhones nowadays have like a pro mode on there, so you can mess with the exposure and the aperture and all this other stuff. That's around with those settings. Photography is a lot of trial and error. Everybody has their own different style. There's no one right way to do anything, right? A lot of times, again, I'm big in the photography community on Twitter. A lot of people, will like look down on people that use automatic mode or whatever. Like when people are learning in their beginning, that's fine. Learn, experiment with that, right? As you grow, you'll start understanding, the exposure triangle, ISO, aperture, shutter speed, all that stuff. You'll understand it. You'll figure it out as you go. But you got to just start shooting. The other thing I'll say to kind of piggyback on that is if you do go get a camera, get just an entry-level DSLR camera, and get one that's a crop sensor. So don't go out and get the most expensive camera because half the time you're not even going to be able to use most of those features because you don't even know what they do. I'm on my 5th camera now, and this is the first camera that I've had that has it was like $2,000, but it was the first camera that I've had that's like full frame. Everything I did before this, literally before this, I think I got it like 6 months ago, was on a entry-level camera, a beginner camera. Everything I did, I built my entire business on an entry-level camera. So you do not have to have the best equipment. Now, again, I was fortunate enough to be making enough money that I went out and got this and I have all the lenses and everything like that, but I built it over time. It wasn't something that I jumped right in. I had everything off the rip. So that's the biggest thing I'd say is don't worry about the gear when you're starting. Just go out and shoot. Use your phone. Go get a cheap, like $200 camera from eBay or Amazon or whatever you want to do, and just start. And then last thing I'll say to that is YouTube will be your best friend, right? If you want to learn anything about your camera, your specific camera, just camera photography in general, YouTube has so much stuff. Like, again, my only experience, my only education in photography has come from YouTube. Everything else has been, self-leared.
That's real.
Yeah. So those are the kind of the 3 things that I would say for sure. If you just want to get started in photography, for sure.
Okay. And I got one. What is your favorite thing to shoot? I do a little some. I like landscapes, but landscapes are hard as hell. What's your favorite? Yeah.
So my favorite thing to shoot is people. Not joking. People are my favorite thing to shoot.
They hard too, but
I got you, bro. I got you. So like the thing with landscapes for me is I don't get that gratification. I don't get that, I guess, a dopamine hit. Like I can take a picture of, you know, the mountains or whatever, but, you know, I can share it on Twitter. But to be honest, like on Twitter, everybody else is just trying to grow as well. So they don't really care. And you can find the niches and whatnot, and that's cool. But for me, I love literally, like I said, like I love taking a picture of somebody and be like, yo, this is fire, bro. Like you looking good. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I love. I love that piece. And that's why shooting people are my favorite, like is my favorite thing to do. That's why I do photography. It's really for, you know, the expressions and everything that people get. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Aside from that, I guess my other favorite thing to shoot is cars, because you can just find all kinds of crazy angles in cars. I have a drone. It's in that bag back there. Different angles above and below and all this crazy. Like I love shooting cars. There's a lot of different angles on that, because that's another thing I love. I love cars. But people, number one, my favorite thing to shoot. I wouldn't even be doing it if it wasn't for people, for sure.
People.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Yeah,
appreciate that.
bro, gotcha.
All right.
Like I said, there's so many, like again, like on Twitter, I'm connected with so many different photographers. Got landscape photographers. I have people that shoot strictly on film. I have people that do astrophotography, just videos. Like there are so many. That's the thing about photography too, is you can find something that you like to do. Some people just do stop motion animation, where they just take literally like 1,000 pictures of something and they're moving it around. Some people do time lapses. Like there's something for everybody in photography. You can find something that you love to do in photography. And that's kind of the beauty of it. It's just like, it's subjective. Like whatever you want to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like don't let anybody else. Let me go back to the other question. That's the other thing. Don't let other people judge or don't let their thoughts and emotions and sway you from doing what you want to do, right? Like you can go on Twitter, you can go on Instagram, and a lot of people are going to be very judgmental. They're going to be like, oh, well, you didn't, you know, properly expose this photo, or your composition's off on this photo, or it's too dark. None of that matters, right? It's your art. It's what you want it to look like. If you're happy with what you produced, that's enough, right? That's all you need. And at the end of the day, like that's kind of the hardest thing to overcome. And that's where you kind of really find yourself as an artist, and you really gain that confidence. Because if you try to do what I do, like portrait photography, you're dealing with other people, and you're like always constantly in the back of my head. I've done 4 weddings. And it's like, man, I don't know if they're gonna like this. Like, yeah, they're like, I don't know if, yeah. So like, they're like, those are hard, because you're like, man, like it's a huge moment. This is like one of the biggest moments of their lives. You don't want to mess it up. So it's just having that confidence in you, like, okay, I'm confident in my work. I know, I trust in what I do. They hired me. They wouldn't have hired me if they didn't also believe in what I do. So confidence, man. Confidence is key for sure. Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, sorry,
Yeah,
I ramble a lot. I like talking.
No, it's
That is what the podcast is for. If you,
bro, I love podcasts. Man, I used to do one back in the day, man. It's been a
doesn't
while.
do nobody no justice if you don't speak.
Facts.
It's a pain. It's a pain when I gotta carry the conversation. Like
Feel that.
I can do it. That's my job. But you know, if I got a guest, yeah.
You want them to talk? Nah, for sure. Happy to talk, bro. Happy to talk.
Like when I interview businesses and people like that, this is your time. This is your moment.
Facts. Yes, sir.
Tell everybody like what you do, why you do it, how you do it.
Yeah, bro.
Want to do it, you know, put yourself out there. This is your chance, because like you said previously, you never know who will see it, and the right person that sees it, they'll look at you like, hold up, oh, you got a photographer on here. All right, let me see. Got the tag. Oh, dang, check his work out. Oh, wow, this is nice.
Bro.
But I will say, you are better than me when it comes to like when people with the criticism thing. Because me, I'll be like, well, okay. How about you do it? I'll let you show me. I'll sit back.
Yeah.
You know, somebody say something like picture too dark. I'm like, okay, go ahead. The floor is good. Please educate me on where I did wrong. I love to know.
Facts. That's another part too. And then that's like, you know, the better you get, like sometimes like, and you'll get a lot from other photographers. Like they'll be like, man, like yada yada yada. You're like, yeah, cool. You know what I'm saying? My work speaks for itself, right? You know, I get the engagement, I get the looks, I get the views, I get the love. Like it's all good, brother.
That's all that matters. I just wish some people sometimes would appreciate that you are an expert at your craft, and it's like it takes a lot to get to that point. And I don't think people understand the work. Like, and one of the biggest things I remember seeing is everybody know Filet, layup, basketball, the basketball guy. A lot of when he came out, it was something for COVID. He had to do a little thing where he said, "All right, you pay me like $150 or $50 or $200 for depending on how long the video was. I'll do a video for you." And people were coming at him like, "Oh, you didn't do all this. You just did voiceovers and all that." And then when I saw that, I was like, "That's not cool." I didn't like that. I don't even know the guy personally, but I didn't like it because I was like, "Do you know how long he has been working on that?" Like people have to always remember, like you're not paying for the service all the time. You're paying for brand. You're paying for like the photo you see a day. Like if people go to your page today, you're not paying for just that photo shoot. You're paying for like. All right, all the work he learned over these last 4 to 5 years of to get to that photo, you paying for all that.
Exactly.
Because it takes time to get to that excellent photo, that perfect photo. That man had to go through, like you said, 4 or 5 different cameras, years of playing with settings and looking back, probably deleting pictures and restarting pictures.
God, you don't even know.
Doing it until he perfected it, and it's like, okay, I like it. I know exactly how to get it like this. And then every time he sees it after a while, he says, "All right, let me step it up. Let me add some else."
Exactly.
Let me keep building. I wish more people would understand that it takes a lot of effort and time, and it's not just I just did this, I just snapshot and I just sent it to you. Like, nah, it don't work like that.
Bro. Yeah, bro. They don't understand.
But,
Spot on.
I don't stress myself with that because the person in the room, we all know what we had to do to get here. We all know that,
Hey,
one
man.
person, that's fine. The experts.
They say you ain't make it till you have haters. So bring them on. You know what I'm saying?
The more the merrier. The only thing I would invite, the more the merrier. The more the
Facts, bro. Bring them in.
But that basically concludes the episode today. Like I said, I would appreciate you for coming on.
Yeah, man. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me out.
Yeah. Thank you.
This is number 45. So now we go to the things of what's next for the podcast. All right. So the next episode we have is episode 46. The restrictiveness of childhood education. A whole episode dedicated to what are more things people can learn in high school, the double standards of standardized tests, SATs and ACTs and things of that nature. We highlighted that with Tylic Vaughan, a middle school teacher in my hometown at Prince Edward County High School, Prince Edward County Middle School, and is also a basketball coach for the middle school boys team as well. So we talked with him about that, this child education, things that could be added, things that could be better. Other things that we have going on. If you're not hip now, please tune into Music Central. That is the music show, everything music related. I carry my thing. I carry what I do here, my love, my joy, my jokes, laughter, all those things. It comes from here, it goes to music. And I started this podcast because I had unpopular opinions about sports, but now you can see them in music too. So definitely tune into that. If you're not hitting Triple Threat, support my guy PJ and Vontae. They work hard. We trying to get the NBA 75 draft put together, but once we get that out, we'll get that out. And then right now, go check out their articles on Medium. They have articles on Medium. Vontae broke down a couple games. I released the article breaking down some NBA teams, so definitely check out all their work there as they continually grow with that. But overall, that is all I have for you guys today. And again, I appreciate you all for tuning in for another episode. You're not gonna like this. As always, this is your host, Ira. Tyler, again, thanks for joining. And
Have me.
see y'all soon.